So this video, although it does focus on human and animal ethics in research, it can be applied to many areas of life, and knowing these concepts will not only help you if you want to participate in a study or conduct a study, but as well as venturing into unfamiliar environments, as well as analysing the systems around you. So if you want to look for general research advice, if you're in Australia, you go to the National Health and Medical Research Council. It has all the health advice, all research policies, everything you want to know about conducting research in Australia at this website. And the Australian Code for the Responsible Conduct of Research outlines the main key elements of conducting research on organisms. So the document articulates 4 core principles of merit and integrity, beneficience, justice, and respect for persons. But I'm going to break it down into 5. And the first one is merit. The research being conducted must contribute to knowledge and provide a potential benefit for society. Otherwise, what's the point? Justice, participants are treated fairly. You want to make sure that your own personal opinions about the world are not getting in the way of an experiment, which is usually an objective means, a way to understand how things work objectively. You also want to respect everyone. All research asks for consent from participants and information, so they're not going to freely distribute any information. They're going to make sure that the participants are fully in control of what is happening. And 4 is integrity. The research is done honestly and is open to the public. There's no secrecy because there is danger in that. Number 5 lastly is beneficience, is that if there are risks, they must outweigh, if there is a benefit, it must outweigh the risks if there are any present. But obviously we don't want risks, but sometimes it happens. So the way to remember these concepts is in the acronym MJRIB: merit, justice, respect, integrity, and beneficience. So let's look into informed consent. Why is it someone's business of what you're doing relevant? Especially if they're not an expert, they're not going to really understand. Well, the reason why we want people to know what you're going to do is that it protects people from malicious intent. That, that person has to live with the results of the experiment and not you. So you want to make sure that they're fully aware of what's going to happen. So that's why it's important. So what must informed consent include? You want to make sure that you're getting proper informed consent. It's not just asking yes or no, it's making sure that they have the same awareness as you do as what is going to be conducted in the experiment. So they need to know who is conducting the research. Explicit mention that they can withdraw at any time. That is very important. Any conflicts of interest, that all the information gathered will be anonymous. The purpose of the experiment, benefits, the pros and cons, what's going to happen if the research does well, what's going to happen if it doesn't go well, the fact that the experiment is approved by an ethics committee, and the procedure, what the person can expect to happen. And you can remember it by the acronym REP, POR, WIB: risks, ethics, purpose, procedure, anonymity, who, why, interest, and beneficience. So that sounds safe for humans. It's a great procedure, all of this stuff. But what about animals? Because they don't have that conscience, and we can't exactly ask them if it's okay or inform them. So what's the deal here? Well, unfortunately, this is a huge grey area, given animals don't have the same level of awareness as a human. But even still, about 90% of experiments are performed on humans, and the rest are on animals. And researchers will minimise experimenting on animals. It is a last result, and if you ever do any documentation, it is immense, They make it really hard for researchers to perform experiments on animals. So these ideas should not just apply to research and to all areas of life. And you can remember it with these 2 simple acronyms.